Okay, so I wanted to give you a quick, short video just to explain what we've been seeing lately. And some campaigns we're seeing the directory pages being the number of pages in top positions have decreased, and in some case, more than others. And what we want to point out is that this year there was more core updates than typical, and the March update, if I open this real quick, was a significant update. It was the largest update ever, actually, at any one time back in March because of the AI being such a new thing. In March, Google was working on ways to sort of deal with all the amount of content they have to ingest. Now that content can be created pretty much exponentially at volume, Google has to now determine what to index and not index, and now they're also using AI to read content pages, of course, and determine the pages on a website, which ones to index, and all that. And so March was the big one. Our sites were not really impacted too much by that update. And then there was another one in August. There was another big update in August. If you go down here, you can see there was this was so August, March, and November are the big ones this year. And now there was another one that just came out here in December, which is unusual for them to do back-to-back updates in both November and December. Okay, November update, December update. So at this particular point, we're expecting everything to be kind of out of whack for a minute, because with that amount of updating going on, sites are it's the Google dance. They're all shuffling and bouncing around. In fact, if you look at the Google, the SEMrush sensor, we're in a Google quake, right? 8.2. It means that basically all industries are just being shaken up. Okay, so that's the reason why we're seeing some of our directory pages temporarily pulling back. Now, when it happens in the past, we usually update content, resubmit to Google, and then things recover and move around. But this time we're doing something much more drastic. We're actually rebuilding the directory site structure as a whole, and we also are using new content strategies. We're using the newer GPT modeling and all that stuff to generate content, and we're using a structure that's using more of what's called SEO entities. Okay, so Google is not really focusing too much anymore on keywords like they have in the past. Okay, so keywords as they are individually, like plumber, emergency plumber, plumbing services, that's all the same keyword as far as Google is concerned. They understand the context of the term. So we don't have to build individual pages for all these keywords that are really the same thing like we used to do years ago. Now what we want to do is include all of those keywords into one page, and Google will rank that page for multiple keyword phrases. So if you search for plumber near me, or emergency plumber near me, or plumbing contractor near me, we can rank the same page for all of those. But within the content, we're using those keywords, and this is kind of how the entity structure works. So with that said, we're in the process now. We have been already working on this for a while. We're almost done. And now the timing of it is good, because with these new updates, it's now more important than ever that we adapt. We can't predict the future, right? We don't know what's going to happen with Google really until things happen, and then we adapt. So what we're doing in the meantime is we're going to end up relaunching all the campaigns, new content with a slightly different structure. It won't change the reports that we already have. You don't have to change your keywords. We're just going to group the keywords differently, create the content differently, and we're going to resubmit to Google. And we may even consider resubmitting the sites on a subdomain. So local dot whatever the domain was, we may resubmit using that to give it a fresh start. Okay, but I want to show you something really quickly. I'm just using a mock-up tool just to show you how this will work. But let's say, for example, the home page is going to be more of a directory. It is a directory already, but we're going to focus more on the individual keywords and the locations. Instead of it being collapsed, it'll be on the forefront. When you click on a keyword, it's going to go to a keyword content page. Think of it like a blog post, right? There'll be 250 words about that. We're going to include some other keywords and related keywords and features all in this content. And then it's going to have the service areas and then all services. So in this particular case, in my example, this company does plumbing and HVAC. So these are two different groups of keywords, plumbing related and HVAC related. So historically, what we would do is have an individual page for each keyword and location. But now what we're going to do is group them. So if I go to Onico, you're going to see plumber and emergency plumbing on this page, along with a block of text about the location. And then down below, all the services. So if I go to emergency plumbing, here's the blog content. Then if I go to Onico again, you can see that we're now grouping the plumbing related services together so that we don't have so many pages that are essentially potentially canceling each other out because the content is so relevant, right? So now what happens, HVAC repair, and HVAC installation, these are sort of like keywords, but the content can be on the same page, and Google will rank this page for all three of those terms. Instead of me having each individual one, that's where the problem we believe is happening, and this is where entity SEO comes into place. So we are right now, we're testing it, we're working on these things, we're looking to relaunch campaigns starting next week, okay? So we're going to go through and we're going to start updating. The keywords will be the same, we'll update the keywords, we're going to group the keywords better, and then we're going to relaunch the campaigns. So that's what we're doing because there's a lot of chatter going on the internet right now as it relates to these recent updates. And so we have a plan, we're working the plan, and so far from what we're doing, it's working well. And this will allow us to we'll have less individual pages on the website, but we're still going to have all the keywords. So we're optimizing for the same number of keyword / location variations. It's just that we're going to group keywords by theme into individual pages for the locations. So we'll have one grouped page per overall theme per location. And that's the big adjustment we're making. And by doing so, this content will be more relevant, it'll be more robust, and it will be unique because we're threading in the location data as well as the business information. And we have this thing called features, which we can use dynamically to make the content unique. So that's what we're working on right now. I just wanted to let you know that if there's a pullback in your page rankings, we're aware of it and we are adapting. That's how this works. Like I said, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. All we know is that we can be, aware of what's going on, track results, adapt, and continue forward. And that's our goal. I apologize for dragging on, but I just wanted to give you an update to let you know that there has been some updates to Google. We're aware of it. We may have some campaigns where the directory pages are sort of in the process of dancing around, some deranked, some not. Some campaigns weren't affected at all, but we're aware of it and we are adjusting and adapting, and you're going to get the new version of our directory site, and all these things are all included as part of our service. So just want to let you know what's going on, and I'll keep you updated as we move things around and get the new sites set up. We will roll over your existing directory sites to the new model. We're going to run a report, and then we'll update you in the to let you know that it was done. And then, of course, we'll track it from there and see how well it ranks going forward.